Okay, we are drawing a cake this class. Okay, first of all, let's make sure you understand the proportion. And the proportion is, it's not a square. See, that's how wide it is. I'm making sure my finger's not moving. Okay, that's 1, right? So it's like 1 and tiny bit more here. All right, so don't draw a square. But still don't draw a long rectangle like this. Okay, get the proportion right. The proportion is 1 and a little bit longer. It's not like 1.5. Okay, so get the proportion right. If you don't under proportion, tomorrow I'm going to tell everybody about proportion one more time. Okay, that's the top. So I made a rectangle. I'm going to make an oval on the rectangle. So this rectangle very important, like how wide this. Okay, so don't make a skinny one. By knowing how wide is that, you can actually see like that's 1, right? That's a little bit more than half. Okay, so you make this and you go like that. That's 1, that's the same length, and that much left. Then pretty much you know where you put that line is. So that's the oval, curved the same way. And put a candle on and made some those drapes. Okay, for the drapes, I give you a tip. Okay, it's hard for you to, make exactly right over there, but you can do this. And you can, find a spot like this one, right? You can just draw a very light line here. Then you look at this. This is a very light line here. That's one here. It's a closer, a little longer. Then this a little shorter. Then this a short one. That's a long one. That's another one. And this part too. This part has a short one and kind of long. Then that, right? After you did that very, very lightly, then you can kind of curve it. Okay, now you can kind of curve. If you want curve which way, make it more like, drape. Yeah, that's the way can help you. Don't, mess up too much with that. Try to get the right place so you can draw the same exactly shape what I did, right? And after that, I shade the background. Okay, I shade the background. That's the darker side. After that, okay, that's what I want to teach you right here, how to shade this thing 3 dimension. So you already have the drip, the drops. So the drops is lighter on the left side and darker. Oh, wow, and any drops, okay? I'm not following that exactly, but any drops like this, right? So what you have is you have a casting shadow, not too big because they didn't raise that high that much, so it can't casting a big shadow. It's a very skinny shadow here. Then after that, you can kind of get a little core shadow here, and with the core shadow you can shade the darker side together like that. See, then this side is, this part is a little bit darker or is light. You don't need to shade anything. Okay, then this is the little bit darker part, and this is the same thing. Core shadow always follows the shape, and not core shadow. I'm sorry, casting shadow. Then that's the core shadow, follows the shape, and that's the darker side. And this same thing, casting shadow, and core shadow and the darker side. So you make it more like, you know, three-dimensional thing. It's like if I make a big one, okay, so you can see better. So that's the casting shadow, faded on the edge, okay, faded, faded, faded. Then core shadow, then okay, does it look like a three-dimensional? Okay, you have a lighter side, a darker side, and a casting shadow, right? And reflection, see this white part, very, very important, okay? And that's, you know, that's this drawing's main thing is learning how to shade those three-dimensional. So that's what I want to emphasize on that. And here's a work on the candle. So core shadow, reflection. Okay, first very light, and second I shaded the lighter side to dark, so left a highlight here. Then after that, and before was the same, so I just darkened the straps. See, dark light, still keep the core shadow going on the dark part. See, that's darker than this, darker than that, right? Still keep with this core shadow line. Then yeah, so I darkened this, so I have room to darken that and darken this. I think in the end I made a casting shadow down here. That's the cake. And also if you want to erase this part, it's fine. I feel like that part looks a little weird. Maybe it should be just like that. Don't have that hole in there. But yeah, you can do whatever you think is right. Okay, hope you enjoy this.